Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, YouTubers? I'm going to talk today about why I support Trump and Elon Musk policy towards South Africa right now. Now, some people argue if the white South Africans should have gotten refugee status. The civil rights group AfriForum has said that their group is not going anywhere, that their ancestors came to South Africa, and they came to South Africa before even a lot of black South Africans did, around 1652. Now, some blacks from modern-day Cameroon were already there, but they came down from modern-day Cameroon. The only people native to South Africa, or even Zimbabwe for that matter, were the Khoisan. But that's a different video for a different day. Now, AfriForum says their ancestors have been in South Africa longer than most white people's ancestors have been in the United States, so they're not going anywhere. They're determined to fight the fight in South Africa. Now, 10,000 white South Africans have already signed up for the refugee status application. Now, AfriForum just wanted Trump to sanction a few ANC officials, not suspend aid to all of South Africa. But here's the thing, okay? It is more, there is a song. Number one, there's a song that's called Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer that the South African Human Rights Commission upheld and said it was legal to sing, which is basically a death threat. During the apartheid years, it was only sung around white ANC members like Joe Slovo, who knew it was the system and not the people that song was talking about. But since the end of apartheid, it's become an anthem and a rally cry to kill and harm white South Africans, and the South African Human Rights Commission does not do anything about it. So that puts white South Africans in danger with that kind of rhetoric. Number two, I've already talked about it's more dangerous to be a white farmer in South Africa than it is to be than it was to be a soldier, a U.S. soldier in Iraq or Afghanistan during the Iraq or Afghanistan war. South Africa averages over 80 murders a day, and it's more dangerous to be a white farmer in South Africa than it is to be a policeman in South Africa with all the dangers South African cops face. Okay? Now, the refugee status should have gone broader. There are Indian South Africans as well as mixed race South Africans called coloreds that suffer a lot of discrimination as well. So one argue that it could go further because the current African National Congress government is not wanting to have democracy. They're wanting to have majoritarianism, which is a different form of government altogether. They don't want to have any guarantees for minorities' rights in South Africa. And there are 141 race-based laws that discriminate against white South Africans. This broad-based black economic empowerment that has happened, it has not helped poor blacks get out of townships. It's not helped poor blacks get educations. All this has done is basically enrich middle-class and upper-class black South Africans. That's all this broad-based black economic empowerment is. And then a lot of whites are not able to get jobs based on their skin color, never mind if they're qualified or not. So that's why a lot of them have had to go into their own businesses. But now the African National Congress is wanting to tax white businesses heavily to give to black businesses, which is gonna even worse the economy, taken away from a business to any sort of business, regardless of color. The business hasn't started yet. That's not good economics. Okay. So, and the white South Africans pretty much have, like, in refugee status, they're in danger. A lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So they have to have somewhere to go. Okay. That's number one. Number two, the U.S. aid to South Africa has been disastrous. Now, at first, yes, the free AIDS contraceptives to combat the AIDS crisis, the U.S. needed to do something about it, and they did that with George H.W. Bush starting that. Bill Clinton continued it, and it should have been continued, but the South African government has had over 25 years to have their own AIDS programs, and they haven't done anything, and they just kept relying on U.S. aid. Never mind the United States right now has a huge, huge deficit, okay? South African government does not appreciate what the U.S. does for them. They have joint exercises with China and Russia's Navy all the time. They help smuggle weapons to Russia when Russia illegally invaded Ukraine. That's number three. Number four, South Africa in the UN and stuff only votes with the United States 11 to 12% of the time. They always vote against the U.S. They praise Huawei Internet. They trash U.S. interest. And they want the U.S. to trade with South Africa duty-free with U.S. tariffs coming into South Africa. But South African chicken coming into the United States is at a 75% tariff. And the United States does not owe the African National Congress anything. And I'm going to explain that in a different video. So, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.